Chelsea never runs out of money. The secret lies in the art of selling players. If you've ever wondered how Chelsea can spend money like water, splashing hundreds of millions of pounds every year yet still staying afloat without being grabbed by UEFA like Nottingham Forest or Everton, this is your answer. Behind the glamorous signings like Moises Caicedo, Christopher Nkunku, or the recent move to buy Xavi Simons, lies a lesser-known story. Chelsea are masters of the selling game. While most fans and media get excited about the inside of the transfer market, the big names, jersey photo shoots, and flashy highlight reels, it's the outside that keeps the machine running smoothly. And Chelsea are doing that better than anyone else in the Premier League. In modern football, especially with profit and sustainability rules, PSR, being more tightly enforced, selling players is just as important, if not more so, than buying them. Not every club can sell a player who's only played a few games for £20 minus 30 million. But Chelsea can, and they do it consistently. In recent weeks, we've seen a coordinated exodus from Stamford Bridge, from out-of-favour names like Armando Broja, Leslie Ugachukwu, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Kepa Arrizabalaga, to promising young talents like Tino Anjorin. Chelsea is offloading them all. Some on loan, some sold outright, at prices most clubs can only dream of. These players don't have to be key figures or even play well. As long as they're out of the manager's plans, Chelsea is ready to list them. And don't get it wrong, this isn't a clearance sale. On the contrary, it's a strategic move. Reduce the wage bill, clear squad space, and create budget room for reinvestment. In times when a loss of over £105 million in 3 years can lead to heavy penalties, profits from offloading surplus players become a lifeline. Without sales, Chelsea would be trapped in the very youth-focused project they're pursuing. A squad of 30 to 35 players, mostly aged 19 to 23, not only blocks the pathway for emerging talent but also creates internal chaos and becomes difficult to manage. A bloated, inefficient system. It's, simply put, a disease that kills the development of any football club. After the costly lesson of the 2022-23 season, Chelsea seems to have learned. That's why they've acted quickly this time. Before the Premier League even kicks off, they've sealed multiple exits, earning over £100 million from players who are no longer in their plans. Thanks to that, Chelsea can continue shopping this summer, pursuing Nico Williams, negotiating for Xavi Simons, and preparing other surprise signings. In any transfer window, buying is just the tip of the iceberg. The hidden part, the one that determines Chelsea's success, lies in how they offload surplus baggage without damaging the ecosystem. And that's where Chelsea truly outshines the rest of the Premier League. If you want more proof, look at the latest deals. Leslie Ugachukwu, a player who just signed a 7-year deal and was loaned to Strasbourg, Chelsea's feeder club, has been sold to Burnley for around £20 million. An incredible number given Ugachukwu barely made any impact in the Premier League. Yet, for Chelsea, it's a brilliant move, turning an unamortized asset into instant cash. Cesare Casade, bought from Inter Milan for around £15 million. Loaned out several times, and now on his way out. No big profit, but no loss either. Armando Broja, once seen as Diego Costa's successor, now sold to Fulham for roughly £20 million, even though he made little impact after a serious injury. Selling him is a clean end to an unfinished story. Kepa Arrizabalaga, loaned to Real Madrid with them covering his wages last season, now set to leave for free or at a cut price deal just to reduce the wage bill. Tino Anjorin, Bashir Humphreys, Lewis Hall, academy players sold or loaned out to create clean cash flow on the books. Unlike Broja, Tino Anjorin is a more strategic case. He once scored an important goal against Fulham and was considered a raw gem of the Cobham Academy. But he now faces harsh reality. The path to the first team is blocked. With Xavi Simons potentially joining, Michael Elias being pursued, Kendry Páez ready to debut, and young talents like Cesare Casade, Diego Moreira, Angelo Gabriel, Carney Chukwuemeka waiting in line, players like Anjorin know that leaving is the smart choice if they want to grow. So, what's the best destination for Anjorin if he stays in England? A loan to a top championship club like Ipswich Town, Norwich City, or Sheffield United would be a wise move, offering regular starts and real development instead of sitting on the Premier League bench. If he chooses the Bundesliga, as some sources suggest, e.g. RB Leipzig, he must think carefully. Midfielders like Ethan Ampadu have shown that not everyone thrives in Germany. Playing little is worse than not playing at all. Finally, within Chelsea's academy, there's a quiet but notable comparison. Tino Anjorin versus Josh Akimpong, who should stay? To many, Anjorin is more famous, mentioned more often, but Akimpong is seen as more tactically mature and better suited to the current first team. He can play as a right-sided centre-back, fit into multiple systems, and doesn't face as much competition for his spot. If Chelsea could only keep one, prioritizing Josh Akiempong would be more logical. And this marks a clear strategic shift. Chelsea are no longer emotional or spontaneous, they are now operating with calculated, cold-blooded efficiency. Chelsea spends big but stays healthy, because they know how to play by the rules. If you think Chelsea is breaking financial fair play, FFP, or PSR rules by spending over £1 billion in just 2 years, the truth is, they're not doing anything wrong. They're just using the rules better than everyone else, amortizing transfer fees over time. When Chelsea buys a player for a large fee, they sign him to a 6 to 8 year contract and spread the cost on the books over a maximum of 5 years, according to UEFA's new rules. Right finger example. Buying Moises Caicedo for £100 million means only £20 million is recorded per year, even if the money has already been paid. Right arrow, that keeps their annual financial report looking healthy, generating accounting profits from internal sales. Chelsea once sold 2 hotels and the women's team to a blue co-owned subsidiary. Right arrow, these internal transactions were recorded as net profit, helping the club stay within PSR loss limits. While UEFA now bans these internal deals, the Premier League hasn't applied the same restrictions yet, maximizing profits from academy players. Chelsea brilliantly exploits their homegrown assets. Since academy players come at no transfer cost, selling them results in 100% profit on the books. From names like Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, to Lewis Hall, Ian Martson, Omari Hutchinson, and recently Armando Broja, Chelsea turns them into real cash flow to balance expenses. They don't need those players to play well, they just need to know when to sell. Chelsea isn't cheating or bending the rules. They're playing by the rules, but like an asset-flipping investment fund, not a traditional football club. This is a high-stakes gamble. If revenue doesn't grow or they fail to sell in time, the model collapses. But for now, they're walking the tightrope, and doing it like pros.